Man, there's a ton of Orioles questions. Such a shocker. I will try to answer the best that I can. I'm not going to talk about what a projected lineup would be next year, but I just want to talk about what are realistic and unrealistic goals for the offseason. I think it's unrealistic to think that Shohei Ohtani will be a Baltimore Oriole, and here's why. That would require the Orioles to trade a lot of big-name prospects because Ohtani is going to take a haul to get him. And then on top of it, you're going to have to pay Ohtani if you want him long-term, and he is going to probably have the largest, richest contract in MLB history. I don't think that that is worth going to trade 6 prospects to get a guy and to pay a guy a ginormous amount of money no matter how talented he is. It just doesn't seem like it's the Orioles' way. Another thing I don't think is realistic is expecting the Orioles to splurge then on all these top-tier players. You maybe go after one, but to be honest, the Orioles are about finding value. And I could see the Orioles going for more mid-market guys that fit to their team's portfolio or that they look that they can help make into higher-tier guys moving forward. Because you look at what they've done with some of the guys that they've picked up. Perez this year, Voth coming over on waivers, Mateo. The Orioles are developing guys and helping them get better. So if they have a certain system that they see and a value in a player, why go spend the bigger bucks on a guy unless that you are truly locked into that player? It seems more like the Orioles' way. Find pieces to help build around your nucleus that you have. The biggest question mark between realistic or unrealistic is, do the Orioles know what they want to do in the middle infield? Do they want to go out and get a player? Because if you do that, great. Having a foundational piece that's adding to that nucleus, but you're also then going to take away from giving players that are in the minor league level a chance to be an everyday starter at the major league level. For instance, Jordan Westburg's been a name that's been brought up a ton. That could limit his upside at the major league level. I think the Orioles will add an infielder at some point, but to be determined on what part of the market that could be. Also, the Orioles will go after is pitching. And I know everyone was frustrated with the offense. Oh, they're not playing well. Again, let's face it, baseball is hard. Hitting a baseball is hard. But you know what? You know what keeps you in games? I think we all know. Pitching. Pitching and your defense is going to keep you in games. And if you don't believe me, go look at the offensive numbers from the team last year for the Orioles to this year. They're about identical. You know what's really not different is the pitching numbers. The Orioles were dead last. And actually, they are allowing 2 runs almost fewer per game. And that's why that they're in so many games, because their pitching and their defense is giving them a chance to win the ball game. If you want to have a chance to compete in the AL East, yes, I understand you got to put up runs, but you have to be able to pitch. Control these offenses in the American League East or you're not going to last. And if you don't believe me, look what Tampa Bay has done. They have never been this offensive juggernaut, but they have consistently had good pitching and found ways to win games. The other part offensively that I believe is that you have a young nucleus. They're only going to get better for the guys that are there. And then there's a few players that are going to come up, and like one that comes to mind is Colton Cowser in the outfield. He looks like he's going to make a big impact on the team when the time comes. So pair that with Cowser, Gunnar, and Adley, and you build around what you have up there. The Orioles lineup is going to be better. I guarantee you that. They're going to add some bats, but you don't need to go as crazy as you think. I wouldn't be surprised if the Orioles didn't make any big name splashes. They're smart. They're building the right things, and think about it. With what they did this year with all the expectations, you add some of the right pieces with that nucleus you've built. You don't want to blow it up by just going and spending money on one specific player.